Most people approach a new year with the naive optimism of a child making a wish upon a star. You write down a list of vague resolutions that you have no real intention of keeping, and you rely on a temporary burst of motivation that will evaporate by the second week of January. This is why your life looks exactly the same, year after year. You are trying to build a new castle on top of a swamp of old habits and broken promises. You do not need a resolution, you need a revolution. Miyamoto Musashi did not rely on hope or luck to survive 60 duels to the death. He relied on Heiho, which means strategy. He understood that victory is not something that happens by accident, but is the inevitable result of superior preparation and ruthless execution. Musashi viewed his life as a continuous construction project, where every action was a brick laid with deliberate intent. He did not wait for the right time, because he knew that the only time that exists is the immediate moment of action. If you want 2026 to be different from the years of mediocrity that preceded it, you must stop acting like a civilian and start acting like a strategist. You must stop wishing for things to get better and start forcing them to get better through the application of iron will. The universe is indifferent to your desires, but it bows to your discipline. You must treat this coming year not as a playground, but as a battlefield, where you will conquer the territory of your potential. Today, we will discard the weak concept of New Year's resolutions and replace it with the samurai grand strategy. We will break down the 10 tactical principles that Musashi used to navigate a chaotic world and win every single time. We will build a framework so robust that success becomes the default setting of your existence. This is how you conquer the year before it even begins. 1. The ritual. You cannot become the new man while holding onto the corpse of the old man. The samurai understood that rebirth requires a death. Before you can build your 2026, you must ruthlessly examine the version of you that lived through 2025. You must identify the habits and the fears and the weaknesses that defined your failures. You must look at this old version of yourself with cold objectivity, and then you must kill him. This is not a physical death, but a psychological severance. You must look at the lazy man who hit snooze and the fearful man who didn't take the risk, and declare that he no longer exists. Musashi often reinvented his strategy and his approach to combat by discarding what no longer served him. He did not carry the weight of past mistakes. He learned from them and then cut the emotional cord. If you carry your old identity into the new year, you will simply repeat the old patterns. Write down every single trait that you hate about your current self. Be brutal and honest. Write down the cowardice and the procrastination and the addiction to comfort. Then burn that paper. This fire symbolizes the end of that lineage. You are now a blank slate. You are a Ronin with no past and only a future to forge. The new year does not begin on the 1st of January. It begins the moment you decide that your old self is dead. You must walk into 2026 as a stranger to your past. People should look at you and not recognize the intensity in your eyes, because the man they knew has been replaced by a warrior. This is the foundation of all true transformation. 2. Heiho, strategy over hope. A resolution is a wish, but a strategy is a map. Musashi wrote the Book of Five Rings not as a collection of prayers, but as a manual of war. He taught that you must know the ground and know the enemy and know yourself. Your enemy in 2026 is the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is what people use when they have no plan. You must map out your year with the precision of a military campaign. Do not just say you want to make more money or get in shape. Define exactly how much money and exactly what shape. Then work backward to define the monthly and weekly and daily targets required to hit that mark. A goal without a plan is just a delusion that makes you feel good for a moment before the reality crushes you. Musashi studied the environment before every duel to find the advantage. You must study the landscape of your coming year. Anticipate the difficult months and the busy seasons and the potential obstacles. Prepare your defenses and your attacks in advance. When you have a plan, you do not need to think. You just need to execute. The protocol is to create a war room for your life. Take one day of total isolation to draft your strategy. Write down the logistical steps for every major objective. When you have a strategy, you remove the anxiety of the unknown. You walk into the year with the confidence of a general who has already won the war on paper. 3. The way of the single sword. The modern man fails because he tries to do everything at once. He wants to learn a language and start a business and run a marathon all in January. He splits his energy into 10 different directions and makes progress in none. Musashi mastered the sword because he dedicated his entire life to the sword. He understood the power of singularity. You must identify the one great thing for 2026. What is the single achievement that would make all other problems irrelevant? Is it financial freedom? Is it physical transformation? Pick one major battle and throw all your resources at it. When you focus your energy like a laser, you burn through obstacles. When you scatter it like a lamp, you only illuminate your failure. This does not mean you ignore other aspects of life. It means you prioritize ruthlessly. Your one great thing gets your best hours and your highest energy. Everything else gets the scraps. Musashi taught that if you chase 2 rabbits, you will catch neither. Catch the big rabbit first, then you can worry about the others. The protocol is to define your North Star metric. If you look at your year in December 2026, what is the one number or result that defines victory? Fixate on that number. Put it on your wall. Every decision you make during the year should be filtered through the question of whether it helps or hurts that one number. 4. Daily Shugyo. The grand victory is built on the pile of small, boring daily victories. Musashi did not become a legend by winning one duel. He became a legend by training every single day for decades. Shugyo is the concept of austere, hard training. It is the understanding that the magic is in the mundane. You will not feel motivated every day of 2026. There will be days when it rains, and days when you are tired, and days when you feel like quitting. These are the days that count. The samurai does not train because he feels like it. He trains because it is who he is. You must establish a daily routine that is non-negotiable. This routine acts as your anchor in the storm. When the world goes crazy, your routine remains the same. You wake up at the same time, and you do the same work, and you train the same body. This consistency builds a momentum that is impossible to stop. It transforms discipline from an act of will into a trait of character. The protocol is to establish a standard operating procedure for your day. Script your morning and your evening. Automate your decisions so you do not waste willpower deciding what to do. Musashi did not wake up and ask, "What should I do today?" He knew, and because he knew, he acted. 5. Muda, the elimination of waste. You cannot add more to your life if your cup is already full of poison. Muda is the Japanese concept of waste. To make 2026 your best year, you must become an essentialist. You must ruthlessly cut out everything that does not serve your mission. This includes toxic friends and bad habits and mindless entertainment. Musashi lived a life of extreme simplicity. He did not carry unnecessary baggage because it would slow him down in battle. You are carrying a backpack full of rocks. You spend hours on social media, and you worry about the opinions of idiots, and you engage in drama that does not concern you. Drop the rocks. Every hour you spend on nonsense is an hour you steal from your greatness. You must audit your time like a forensic accountant. Find the leaks and plug them. You will be amazed at how much energy you have when you stop wasting it on things that do not matter. The protocol is the elimination diet for your life. For the first month of the year, remove all social media and all alcohol and all social obligations that are not mandatory. Live like a monk. See how much clarity you gain. You can add things back later, but only if they prove their worth. Most won't. 6. The immovable mind. The year 2026 will not be easy. There will be crises and tragedies and unexpected failures. If you crumble at the first sign of trouble, you will fail. You need Fudoshin, the immovable mind. This is the mental fortress that allows you to remain calm and rational when everything around you is burning. Musashi faced death dozens of times. He did not panic. He accepted the reality of the danger and focused on the solution. You must train your mind to be resilient. You must expect problems to happen and decide in advance that you will not be shaken by them. The weak man prays for an easy life. The strong man prays for the strength to endure a hard one. When you adopt the attitude of Fudoshin, you become dangerous because you cannot be intimidated by hardship. You look at the obstacle and you see it as just another part of the path. The protocol is to practice voluntary hardship. Take cold showers. Fast for 24 hours. Do things that are uncomfortable on purpose. This calluses your mind. When the real problems hit, you will be ready because you have lived in the fire. 7. Visualizing the enemy. You cannot defeat an enemy you cannot see. You must identify the obstacles that will try to stop you in 2026. These obstacles are mostly internal. It is your own laziness and your own fear and your own self-doubt. You must give these enemies a name and a face. Musashi studied his opponents before the fight. He knew their style and their weakness. You must study yourself. Know exactly where you usually quit. Know exactly what triggers your bad habits. When you know your enemy, you can set traps for him. If you know you get lazy in the evening, then do your hardest work in the morning. If you know you spend too much money, then cut up your credit cards. You are playing a chess game against your lower self. You must outsmart him. The protocol is to write a pre-mortem. Imagine it is December 2026 and you failed. Write down exactly why you failed. Did you get distracted? Did you give up? Now you have a list of your enemies. Kill them before they kill your year. 8. The spirit of the rice. The samurai respected their resources. They treated every grain of rice and every minute of time with reverence. You treat your time like it is trash. You waste money on things you don't need, and you waste energy on emotions that don't serve you. To win 2026, you must become a master of resource management. Your energy is finite. You only have a certain number of units of willpower per day. If you spend them on anger or frustration, you have nothing left for creation. Musashi did not swing his sword unless it was necessary. He conserved his power for the killing blow. You must view your bank account and your energy levels and your time as strategic assets. Do not squander them. Invest them. Every dollar and every minute should be working for you to build your vision. The protocol is to track everything. Track your spending. Track your time. Track your calories. What gets measured gets managed. You cannot improve what you are ignoring. Shine the light of awareness on your resources and you will stop the bleeding. 9. Ibuki, the vessel of power. You cannot have a strong mind in a weak body. Ibuki refers to the deep, powerful breathing of the warrior, but here it represents your physical vitality. If you are tired and sick and out of shape, you cannot dominate the year. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through the battle. If the vehicle breaks down, the war is lost. Musashi was physically robust. He traveled constantly and fought vigorously. He did not neglect his physical condition. You must make 2026 the year you forge your body into iron. This is not about vanity, it is about capacity. When you are physically strong, your brain works better. You have more stamina and more focus and more confidence. The discipline of the gym translates directly to the discipline of business and life. It is the foundational habit. The protocol is to prioritize your health above all else. Sleep, nutrition, and training are not optional. They are the prerequisites for performance. Treat your body like a multi-million-dollar racehorse. Fuel it correctly and train it hard. 10. Kaishaku, the finisher. Many people start strong in January and fade by March. They lack Kaishaku, the finishing move. In the samurai code, Kaishaku was the final blow that ended the suffering. In your life, it means finishing what you start. It means closing the loop. Musashi did not injure his opponents, he finished them. You have a graveyard of half-finished projects and half-read books. This is a drain on your soul. In 2026, you will become a finisher. You will not start something unless you intend to complete it. Completion creates power. Every time you finish a task, you prove to yourself that you are a winner. Every time you quit, you prove that you are a loser. You must rewrite your identity by becoming the man who always crosses the finish line. The protocol is the no half measures rule. If you open a loop, you must close it. Do not let projects drag on. Set a deadline and hit it or kill the project entirely. Be decisive. Finish strong. The year 2026 is a blank canvas. You can paint a masterpiece or you can spill the ink. The choice is not in your hopes, it is in your habits. You have the map, you have the strategy, you have the philosophy of the greatest warrior who ever lived. Musashi did not become a master by accident. He forged himself in the fire of discipline. Now it is your turn. Do not let this year be another repetition of the past. Break the cycle. Kill the old self. Draw your sword and charge into the future with the intent to conquer. Make this year the year they remember. Make this the year you finally became who you were born to be. But a strategy without execution is just a hallucination. You need a daily system to keep you on the path when the motivation fades. You need a drill sergeant and a mentor and a battle plan. I have created 66 Days of Steel, the samurai method to forge absolute discipline. This is your operational manual for 2026. The fire phase, to burn away the bad habits of 2025. The hammer phase, to build the iron routine of the new you. The Polish phase, to refine your focus for the long haul. This is the best investment you can make for your future. Click the link below. Download the protocol. Let's make 2026 the year of the samurai.